Well, day one of the trial of Dr. William Husel just wrapped up. Prosecutors accuse Husel of ordering doses of fentanyl so excessive they killed 14 of his patients.
His defense argues it's not that simple. Chief investigative reporter Bennett Haverly joins us live with the first day of testimony.
Good evening, Lindsay and Yolanda. Even before opening statements and any testimony and admission, the prosecution had an informal conversation with the defense, offering up a sort of a deal, saying if Husel were to plead guilty to 10 counts of reckless homicide, they could forego this murder trial. Husel's defense attorney, Jose Baez, says it was something that they considered, but ultimately had to decline, as Husel maintains his innocence and wants to go forward with this trial. Husel is accused of ordering lethal doses of fentanyl be given to 14 patients under his care. Prosecutors allege that the doses were 6 to 20 times higher than the hospital's recommended dose for morphine, a similar painkiller. The defense attorney, Jose Baez, argues Husel was providing comfort care to ensure his patients didn't suffer as they were being removed from ventilators. Baez accused the hospital of scapegoating Husel to protect itself from losing federal funding after news of this dosing scandal broke. He also hinted that the Columbus Division of Police didn't thoroughly investigate, alleging that they leaned heavily on the hospital for information. Prosecutors allege that not all of these patients in this case were dying. The hospital identified a handful, at least 5, whose conditions could have improved with additional care.
They went to the hospital for help. Several of them were not sick enough that they were destined to die during their hospitalization. They all had one thing in common. William Husel was the nighttime ICU physician who ordered lethal levels of drugs.
And you're going to hear this evidence where, after attempting to get the records of Tracy Young, which is the watershed moment, to show I'm not a killer, this is the reason why I give these doses, because people suffer in pain, and I'm the one at bedside. These nurses are the ones at bedside. They know what these patients are going through, much more so than anyone else.
And that watershed moment that Jose Baez was referring to was about a patient who they allege received 2,500 micrograms of fentanyl, which is more than the other patients who are named in this indictment. That person that they were referring to died several days later. The hospital, he alleges, withheld this information and didn't turn it over to police until later, until after news of this scandal became public. This trial is expected to last 8 weeks. 50 witnesses are expected to be called, including those who worked inside the hospital. Reporting live inside the courthouse, Bennett Haverly, 10 TV News.
Bennett, thank you. 10 Investigates will continue following this trial for you over the next several weeks. And remember, you can watch the trial streaming live on our 10 TV watch pages, including Amazon Fire and the 10 TV News app.